But in this season, God has called me out of those things. One of those things was my fitness thing. I was really, oh my gosh, love fitness. I work out constantly, y'all know. And I was taking a thing called Peptides, and I was a partner with them, and God called me out of that during Lent. And then I also partner with somebody who does my hair, and I love getting my hair done. I love the posts. I think the posts kind of give, it's a different side. Y'all are used to me talking. Y'all are used to me, saying certain things and dropping knowledge or whatever I'm doing, right? Or whatever you consider what I'm doing. But that's a different post where I'm not speaking at all. You just see me, you see my hair, and hopefully you see me looking fly. Okay, that's just what it is. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. Now, both of those posts, peptides and hair posts, were different kinds of posts. They were different than the other content that I did. And for a season, that was okay. But it hit me last Friday. God was calling me out of one of those influencer deals, or influencer partnerships, whatever you want to call it. And y'all, that was hard for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was struggling with God about it because I didn't understand it. I wanted to. I've enjoyed those things. I've enjoyed those posts, of course, and I just felt like God very strongly was calling me out of it. And I know you guys are like, okay, well, Sam, why is this important? Because sometimes when God calls us out of things, we don't really understand why. Because they're not inherently bad. They're good things, but they're not God things. A lot of times it's things that we might be good at, might be things that, benefit us in some way, shape, or form. It's not sinful, it's not bad, but it's not, God is calling you out of it and you're confused. And y'all, I went through that. I'm like, God, but why? Like, what's wrong with, I went back and forth with this post, y'all. I put it up and it's normal. It's what I've been doing for years. And for whatever reason, that particular Friday, it didn't feel right. Didn't feel right. And I'm over here going back for like, God, okay, what's the problem? Like, why? I'm not showing anything. I'm being, cautious about that. Just really being way more strategic, way more mindful. And I'm like, okay, God, I'm giving up all this stuff. And y'all, again, the sacrifices are worth it. We're going to get to that. The sacrifices, every act of obedience I have taken has been worth it. God has made it worth it. But in the moment of the sacrifice, I do not know why. Every single time. And I know a lot of people, they may be struggling with giving certain things up because they're not inherently bad and you don't really understand why God is calling you out of it. But it's not for you to understand. His ways are higher than your ways. His thoughts are higher than your thoughts. And so in this time frame, as I've been, making sacrifices, and it's been easier for me to kind of let go of things and be like, okay, God, I'm letting that go. Okay. You want me to stop? I'm going to stop that. You want me to stop? Okay, I'll stop that. Okay, you want me to? I'll stop it. It's been easier to let go. If he tells me to give, I give. If he tells me to move, I move. If he tells me to give it up, I give it up. If he tells me to go in this direction, do it. Okay. I've gotten into a rhythm of, I'm so connected to him in a way I haven't been, that I'm hearing his voice louder, so I know what he's telling me. But number two, I'm connected to him in a way I've never been connected to him. And the connection that I have with him is so fulfilling that I don't want to do anything to compromise it. I'm afraid of not being connected to him. It's not even like, oh, I think he's going to do this or he's going to do that. Sometimes, yes, I have a healthy fear of the Lord. God can do anything. He can knock anybody off any pedestal. He's God. He is sovereign. He is almighty. And if you don't do what he wants you to do, he will find a way to get you to do what he wants you to do. He going to make his way very attractive in 2.7 seconds if you don't prioritize him. That's just what God is. God is just, he's God. Right. And so I feel so connected to. I'm doing these things. And so as I'm making sacrifices, they don't always make sense. In fact, in the moment, they never make sense. I don't understand it in the moment. In fact, y'all, I've had epiphany moments where I'm like, a month later, I understand why God told me to stop this. A month and a half later, I have a dream. Something said to me, and I'm like, oh. But everything God has called me out of, there has been purpose. And so as I'm battling with God about this post, and I'm going back and forth, I'm like, God, I don't understand. Like, I've been doing this for years. Like, what's the problem? That morning, y'all, I wake up at a time. The time basically is God checking me. I don't remember the exact verbiage, but it was God checking me. And I knew he was checking me about the post. I knew it. And so I come back, I take my daughter somewhere, I come back and I delete it. As I've deleted it, I'm struggling with God. I'm like, I don't get this. I don't understand this. I don't get what you're doing. Like, why do I have a conviction about this? Like, why I'm just going back and forth, coming up with every rationale as to why this is not that bad. And as I go to delete it, I'm seeing how well, how the post did, everything like that. That also kind of makes it harder, but I knew that if that was the reason why I would keep it, I knew that that was not God. So I was like, I got to delete it. So like I said, I deleted it, and I'm struggling and I'm going back and forth. I call a woman that is a friend of mine that is in the faith, and I'm venting to her about it. And she doesn't really understand why God asked me to do it either, but she also knew that based upon what I was saying, it was obviously God that was telling me to do it. So it was like, got to do it. I'm like, you're right, I do. But I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm giving this up, I'm giving that up. I don't get it. Why, God? Like, these are not bad things. I'm just going through and I realized that in that moment, it was deeper. It's deeper than a post. It was deeper than all of that. That my feelings associated to it was more about where I had found my identity. That I have been stripping layers off of me in this time, y'all, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It feels like breaking. God is calling me out of this, calling me out of that, and it's breaking. But every day that I give up something, give up whatever he's called me to give up, when he calls me to give it up, I feel a little bit more free. I don't understand it in the moment, and I fight in the moment. Like, God the other day called me to do something on my way to work, and I'm like, I'm running late. I don't know, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, if this place is on the way, I'll stop. Well, y'all, as soon as I say that, there's one right there. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll stop. I stopped. I went, and y'all, it made sense. I wasn't really that late. There wasn't, like all these things that I had created in my mind. Well, the enemy inserts thoughts to make me feel like I'm in a frenzy. I'm rushing. I'm pushing it. God, why are you telling me to do this? Okay, well, fine. I'll do it. I see it on the way. I'm just going to be obedient and go. When I went, I understood why. It was inconvenient. It was out of place. It's funny because I woke up at a time that meant inconvenient. But anyway, inconvenient, out the way, or I thought I was out the way because I was running behind, but God placed it in my way. I got to the place and I understood why God did it. There was a reason for why he had me stop. There was a reason for it all. That y'all, in this wilderness season, in order to successfully navigate the wilderness season, to get to the other side, you have to be willing to let go of the why. You have to be willing to let go of, God, I don't understand it. I don't want to do this. Because some of that fight back, there's something that you can learn about you in the fight back. Like me and struggling with why he was asking me to stop posting this, or why, because I had attached my identity to these things, to what I look like and my my physical appearance, my hair, my body, all these different things. And I was receiving validation from those things. And because I had improperly placed my validation in the hands of people versus the hands of my creator, where people are up and down and they've got different things to say every other day, God is saying, no, I need you to put your validation in my hands. And later it will be my husband's hands, where the world don't need to see it, but me and him know what's going on. Me and him know what's up. That when you put your hands in the validation of people, you will always be tap dancing for the applause. You've given them that kind of power. And I'm asking you to take it back. That you don't even realize. You don't even realize how much power you've given people. I didn't. So when I reflected and I look back at the post and I look back at the entire situation, I realized that the reason why the fight, reason why when you have that, there's times where God calls me to do stuff, I don't feel anything about it. I'm like, okay, I have peace about it. But there's times where I know it's God because it's not me, it's not the enemy. The enemy wouldn't tell me this. The enemy, I wouldn't tell me this. So it's got to be God. That's my process of elimination. And lines of scripture, it's like, okay, well, that's obviously God. And when I have that struggling, I know that God is getting at something deeper than that. He's trying to get, he's not so much concerned about the fruit. He's more concerned about the root. What is that root? Is it because you've never felt like you were good enough? And so now this helps you feel like you're good enough. Yeah, I'm honestly getting too honest right now, and it's making me uncomfortable. But I had to see that in every step of obedience where God is challenging me and calling me out of my comfort zone, God is not going to keep you in your comfort zone. In this wilderness season, you're going to be thrown out of the comfort zone. You're going to have to step on your ego, step on your pride, step on all the things that you thought made you you. You're going to have to be way more vulnerable than you desire to be. You're going to have to confront childhood and wounds from childhood. You're going to have to, all those things come to the surface. Why? Because he's trying to clean it off the top. The Bible talks about how when he cleans us up, it's like purifying gold, where they would heat up gold to purify it. They heat up gold. And when they heat up gold to a certain level, I think it's 7,000 degrees, the impurities rise to the surface. And what they do is wipe the impurities off the top. And they continue to heat it up and wipe it off the top. Heat it up, impurities rise it off the top. Heat it up, impurities rise to the top, wipe it off the top. Heat it up, impurities rise to the top, wipe it off. They keep doing that over and over and over again until the person that is heating up the gold and purifying the gold can look at the gold and see their reflection. Guys, this is exactly what this sanctification process is God saying, listen, I'm going to keep turning up the heat. I'm going to keep making you uncomfortable. And everything that rises up is an indication of something I'm trying to heal. Every time that something is brought up in this time is for me to clean you up so that you are able to handle the mantle that I've created you to carry. That Joseph could not handle being second in command of Egypt when he first got the dream, the indication that he was going to be a powerful figure that his brothers would later have to bow down to. It all happened, but he did not have the character to handle the mantle at the time he had the dream. That God is saying to you today, some of y'all have a dream and some of y'all have a promise, and you're unwilling to submit to process because it doesn't make sense to you. And I'm here to tell you that as I was posting those things, or I was connected to these things, whatever, I've realized that it's much deeper than just a daggone post. It's deeper than being an influencer for this, that, and the. It's like, okay, Sam, how do you define you? How have you always defined you? I'm trying to, this definition I'm renovating. Is reconstruction. We knocking it all down. We doing it all over again.